Let me say something that might hit a little different. A lot of you don't have a motivation problem. You don't have a discipline problem. You have a relationship problem with yourself. Because if we're honest, you know what to do. You've read the books, you've watched the videos, you've had the conversations, and yet you still don't follow through. You still shut down. You still avoid. You still go back to the same pattern. That's not a knowledge issue. That's a trust issue. You don't trust you. So the question becomes, if I know better, why don't I do better? And the answer is this: because knowing is cognitive, but doing is relational, emotional, and nervous system based. Knowing is a map. Devotion is walking the road. And a lot of you have been collecting maps while never leaving the house. If this is your first time here, this is Grow Yourself Great. And what we do here is not surface level mental health. We break down how your mind works, how your nervous system responds, how your patterns are formed, and most importantly, how to actually change in real life. Not just insight, not just awareness, integration. Because awareness without change is just recognition of the same cycle. And some of you are calling that growth. It's not. Most people are trying to change behavior without understanding the system producing the behavior. You keep trying to fix what you do without understanding what part of you is doing it, what that part is trying to protect, and what your system actually has the capacity to tolerate. So you end up in this loop: insight, intention, overwhelm, avoidance, and repeat. And after a while, you don't trust yourself. You're not failing because you're lazy. You're failing because you're trying to build a new life with an old nervous system that still thinks it's in survival. So let's redefine something. Devotion is not intensity. Devotion is not motivation. Devotion is not, I'm about to change my life today. Devotion is consistent, conscious engagement with yourself across every level of your life. It is how you relate to yourself when it's hard, when it's uncomfortable, when you don't feel like it. Because anybody can show up when it's easy. That's not devotion. That's convenience. Devotion is not what you do when you feel good. Devotion is how you show up when you don't. Motivation is a spark. Devotion is a furnace. One flashes, one holds. Here's what most people don't understand. You are not one version of yourself. You are a system, what I call your internal village, your community of self. Inside of you are different parts. A part that wants to grow, a part that wants to avoid, a part that's tired, a part that's afraid, a part that's trying to hold everything together. So when you say, I need to be more consistent, what you're really saying is, I need all parts of me to agree at the same time. And that's not how humans work. Consistency isn't trying harder. Consistency is you becoming the leader. You are not inconsistent. You are conflicted. And devotion is how you lead that conflict. Consistency is what it looks like from the outside. Conflict is what it feels like on the inside. This is where everything shifts. Devotion is not controlling yourself. It's leading yourself, which means listening without letting one part take over, understanding before trying to change, and making decisions that serve your whole system. Some of you don't need more willpower. You need internal governance. Physical. Why you burn out? You push through exhaustion, ignore your body, override your limits, then crash. Call it consistency. No, that's a lack of devotion to your capacity. If you ignore your body will ignore your goals. Your body is not a tool, it's a partner. And some of you have been treating it like a machine, emotional, why you avoid. You only stay present with yourself when it feels good. The moment discomfort shows up, you scroll, distract, you disconnect. Devotion means you don't abandon yourself just because you feel something uncomfortable. If you only love yourself when you're calm, you don't love yourself. You tolerate yourself. Psychological, why you overthink. You believe every thought you have. So when your mind says, I'm behind, I'm not ready, this isn't going to work, you stop. Devotion is noticing the thought without obeying it. A thought is information, not instruction. Developmental, why you repeat patterns. Your current behavior is often an old solution. Avoidance kept you safe. Control kept you stable. Shutting down protected you. But now, those same strategies are limiting you. You were not responsible for how you were shaped, but you are responsible for what you continue. Your coping was intelligent, but it might not be aligned anymore. Family, why you struggle internally. Let's be real. Some of you talk to yourself in ways you would never talk to another person. Harsh, critical, impatient. And then wonder why you don't feel stable. It's chaotic. Your life will reflect it. Your life can't become peaceful if you're in a home is violent. Relational, why relationships feel hard. It's not just you and them. It's your anxiety meeting their avoidance. Your need meeting their shutdown. Your fear meeting their control. Conflict is not two people fighting. It's two nervous systems trying to feel safe. Most arguments are not about the topic. They're about safety. Behavioral, why you don't follow through. You rely on motivation, but motivation fluctuates, so your behavior fluctuates. Devotion is what you do after the feeling leaves. Motivation is a mood. Devotion is a practice. This is where Grow Yourself Great is different. We don't just talk about insight. We give structure. IDC, identify, decide, commit, action, family, internal relationship, capacity, nervous system awareness, devotion, consistency across domains, GYG, alignment, and growth. Structure isn't restriction. Structure is care. What we're talking about is not just mindset. This is regulation. This is attachment. This is neuroplasticity. When you practice devotion, your nervous system stabilizes, your tolerance increases, your reactions slow down, your choices become more intentional. You don't just do better, you become more integrated. You don't change by convincing yourself. You change by training your system. Most people are waiting to feel ready. But readiness is not what creates change. Return does. Not perfection, not intensity. Return. Return when you avoid. Return when you shut down. Return when you fall off. The most devoted people aren't perfect. They just return faster. Return back to self. Devotion is not about becoming a different person. It's about becoming consistent in how you show up for yourself across your body, your emotions, your thoughts, your relationships. Because if you only show up in one area, you will feel disconnected in all of them. A life can't be aligned if you only support yourself in fragments. If this made something click for you, you're not alone. This is the work. And this is what we build here. So if you're ready to stop starting over and start actually integrating what you know, subscribe, stay connected, and be a part of the community. Because at the end of the day, you don't grow by accident. You grow yourself great, intentionally, deliberately, and creatively. Peace.